Vince, what do we got going on here today?
Hey Mike, we're here with Get Motivated in Nashville, Tennessee. This is one of their saws and we're going to service it for them. It needs an annual service. As you can see, this is an older saw. It's been used quite well, so we're going to do a couple of things to dress it up.
Gotcha, a little first aid kit for the IQ saw.
Absolutely. First thing we're going to do is change the brushes.
Okay. And those are what, carbon brushes? They spin around the motor, they kind of wear down like brake pads on your car,
Exactly,
if you will?
exactly. They put the electricity. There's the difference.
Oh,
see,
wow. Yeah.
This one's been used quite well.
Gotcha.
And this one's longer. This one still has life in it, but while we're doing our service, it's just like changing your oil. Let's just go ahead and do it now.
Keep those as maybe a backup for an emergency.
For an emergency,
something.
exactly.
Gotcha. And that's what controls the flow of the electricity to the motor, keeps it running at full speed and consistently, correct?
Right. It sends power to the stator.
Gotcha.
That sends it to the commutator and the rotator.
Very cool. And there's two of those on that
motor. Two of those, right.
Okay.
Already did the other side, so.
Okay. Nice. And that just screws right in with
you have to line them up.
Spring loaded for sure.
Because what happens is when the brush stops, the motor will stop.
Gotcha.
Or you'll get a lot of sparking and it'll be slow to start, so then you know you've got a problem.
Yeah.
Hold the spring in, put the cap back on.
The only tool for that's that flat screwdriver.
Well, yeah.
Pretty simple.
In a pinch, you can use a nickel or a dime.
Or a penny, tough economy.
Yeah, that's right. Not worth much for anything else. All right. All right, now that we've got that taken care of, we'll move on. We're going to change the filter.
Okay.
I don't know how long this one's been in. All right, first thing we're going to do is take the tray off completely just so we have a little better sight.
I'll take that. Oh, you got it? All right.
Now, then I can reach in here, take these off.
That's just a standard Phillips screwdriver?
No, actually it's a Torx.
Oh, a Torx bit, okay.
You don't want to use a power drill or impact on this because you can overdrive it or strip them out. You want to be able to feel it. And it's only, you know, 5.
Hand tight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What we're going to be pulling out is a Dacron pleated filter. Best thing with these, best investment I ever made.
Magnetic, I love it.
Never lose them. There. Now, we're going to pull this off. Oh, this one looks really neat.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. And that's not in your lungs.
Not in your lungs. Yeah, this is a Dacron filter. We're capturing 99.97% of your particulates. And the way it works is we have an agitator in there. This is what cleans your filter. It spins it, and then the gravity drops it down in the containment area. You can see the tab in here. That's what makes the clicking, ticking sound when you're spinning it. Everything looks good in here on a visual inspection. So we're going back in with the filter. Should be done annually. That's assuming that you're using the saw 5 to 6 hours a day, but it's just good practice.
Probably good practice to keep a couple of those extra filters on hand. Motor brushes, all those parts and accessories, have them in the job site trailer and ready to go for when you need them.
Absolutely. Silica gets in your lungs and it stays forever. It's like sharp shards. They go in and attack your lung tissue, and your lungs Material that we have is about, what, 8,500, 9,000 PSI?
PSI, yep.
Yeah, okay. This blade that's on here is our combo blade, which is good for up to about 6,000 PSI.
So softer material.
Softer materials. So, will it work? Yes. Is it efficient and most effective? No. So that's why we change it. This is the HM2, which is for harder material, which is up to about 8,500 PSI. And we're going to show you here why it's important to keep your blades dry. See, this one's got a little rust on it. It was stored in a wet area in their trailer, but that's fine. After a couple of cuts, it'll knock that right off. Want to make sure the Q drive's lined up.
Patented arbor system for these saws.
And what that does is it gives you more space around the blade, giving you better contact and more torque.
Okay.
Mike just used this saw with the black blade, the combo blade. What did we find when we changed to the correct blade?
Well, when I was cutting, it was a lot slower of a cut. I felt I had to maybe push a little bit harder, which obviously it stresses out the motor. The saw I was using had that new intelligent sensor on it, and it was just a really slow process with the incorrect blade. So it's obviously stressing the motor out and much slower production
slower
time.
production wise. So right blade with the material, faster production times. Now we're going to change out these louvers here. See how these have been cut and used heavily. What these do is they concentrate the vacuum as it goes over the vacuum port. This is a wear part, and while we're doing our tune-up, we're going to just change those. So let's
Big part of the dust collection system, right?
Absolutely. It does a wonderful job of helping collect. We have people that forget to put them in or don't put them in, and you see a huge difference in there.
So those look like they just basically snap right in.
They do.
Okay.
And out. Yeah, you put that back up. We always put our tools back up so we know where they are when we need them. This saw's dirty. We need to clean it. Need to clean the rails. As you can see, the louvers, when they come in, they're solid. So after you install them, you cut through them with the blade.
Those just snap right in. Now, when you say this saw is dirty, it needs to be clean, what would you recommend with that? Maybe using the HEPA particle vacuum filter and pulling up all the loose dust?
Use the vacuum to pull them up, the 426 HEPA, and then also using like a dry microfiber, anything. Don't do anything wet in here unless it's something that flashes off very fast, like a brake cleaner, acetone, something like that. You don't want anything that remains wet or lubricant because it attracts the dust and it'll grind it.
Yep.
So now that we've got that done, let's install it again. And you always want to flip the switch up. Now we're going to crank it up and cut through these and dress this blade real quick so we can start working. What we just found is something that's not good. The cord had been cut off. They made a field repair, which is not legal on any job site. You got tape holding this together. At least they used some caps here, but that's not correct. And then they used like a 16 gauge cord that's got to tie it all together. So we're going to eliminate that.
The correct cord should be
a 10 gauge 50-foot max, and this would not be allowed on a job site. So we're going to eliminate that now. First, what we're going to do is cut through these louvers, and then we're going to dress this blade for two reasons. It's a new blade. We want to open up the diamonds and make the cutting efficient and fast, and because we got a little bit of rust on here from when it was in the packaging in the bottom of their trailer.
Gotcha.
So
now, with an older blade, when would we use this dressing stone with an older blade that's in service?
Whenever you change materials, typically, or when you feel the blade starting to give you resistance.
Gotcha. Okay.
we're going to dress it.
So that whole dressing process kind of reopens the pores of the diamonds, makes it nice, clean, smooth cutting, less resistance, less having to push it through the saw.
It's like sharpening a knife.
Gotcha.
And the diamonds are what do the cutting, so you want them exposed. Over a period of time with different materials, they can what's called gloss over. And you want to clean that off so the diamonds are exposed.
So motor brushes, filter, louvers,
Right.
new blade, appropriate to the material we're using, and then we're gonna dress that blade and get it ready for service.
Now we're ready to go back to work.
Using the proper extension cord.
Proper extension cord, exactly.
Gotcha.
Right. Now that we've completed that, what we want to do is wipe down the rails. And the reason we do that with something, this is brake cleaner. You just spray it in here. The reason you use this, it flashes off fast. It leaves no residue. When you leave a residue, it acts as an attractant. You see all this stuff that's wiping off your upper and lower rails. You should do this daily, wipe down dry. It keeps the rollers intact here, and it keeps them within tolerance. When it leaves our factories, it's dialed in within 3/1000ths of an inch. It's a very precise machine. So that little bit of dust can put it off. So we want to keep it clean and smooth and operational.